Let's jump into this thing. Last week, you guys assisted your ally, Kyra, with the reclamation of some stolen property. During which time you encountered a satyr bard by the name of Zephyrus. He claims to be a member of a group of bardic thieves that call themselves the Four Winds. In exchange for his life and the life of his beloved pet plant, he ratted out the names and identities and, for the most part, locations of the other three members of the Four Winds. Two of them further south from your location, near the city of Mytros. The fourth, currently inaccessible due to her being a pirate out on the Great Seas. The Great Seas, of course, a continuing thing that keeps coming up. They are too dangerous for mundane ships to survive. The storms that rage above them, too dangerous for most flying creatures to survive for any length of time. That is, of course, because the twin titans, Lutheria is said to dwell beneath the sea, and Sidon is said to control all the weather. So, kind of a deadly combination when it comes to the ocean. So, yeah, with the defeat of Zephyrus, you guys are faced with a decision. Do you regroup here in the Heartlands and then head south, or do you just sort of continue on your way? It sounded last week like you guys wanted to drop off your new prisoner at the Mithril Mines and then swing by Estoria and sort of like catch your breath and recoup. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. In that case, with your captive in tow, as well as an adorable singing plant, you guys make your way down from the mountains and over to the Mithril Mines. It's a journey of only about a day from where you guys currently are. And you do end up having to stop halfway through the night. Now, during the night, there is some awkwardness, of course, because you have these two captives. They don't really want to be captives, and you also have your NPC allies who aren't really sure what to do about the captives. How do you want to proceed with that? Like, how do you want to handle this extremely talkative prisoner? Because the longer he is with you, it seems the more bold he gets as far as trying to talk. I mean, is this like a gag order situation, or do you just let him ramble on, warning your NPC allies of his silvered tongue? Like, how do you handle this?
I seem to recall that, I think, Phil, you said you have several spare, like, sacks and bags.
I see where this is going.
Yeah, I got some of this. Yeah.
I think it's more a matter of silence is golden, and if he likes to breathe fresh air and see the sights, he does so silently. Otherwise, he goes on a timeout with a bag over his head.
I mean, I was figuring that. I mean, Talus doesn't need to sleep; he can watch him.
All right, fair enough. When faced with the option of having a sack over his head and a knotted rope in the mouth sort of situation, he does manage to remain silent. There are some awkward moments where you see your ally Kyra sort of stealing glances at him, looking angry, frustrated, and at the same time apologetic, which you don't. I don't know. Doesn't seem like she should be apologetic, but I mean, that's kind of the look you're getting from over there. All right, settling in for the night. Does anyone have any particular camp activities that they want to introduce? Maybe I just bring you over to a campsite real quick. So while I'm doing that, you can I don't know. Give me like 2 minutes to grab a good camp map while you guys are figuring something out, just in case some wild encounters or random encounters, excuse me, transpire this evening. You never know when you've got captives.
Reset, do you wear your crown?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So does Estoria.
Like all the time, like even when you guys are sleeping, like they're kind of pokey. Do you still?
Well, I mean, not necessarily when I'm sleeping, but like.
You take it off. You
She's a
crown.
Yeah, she just wears it.
Good for you. Good for you. You worked hard for it.
By existing.
But I'm gonna need you to update all your character art so that she's wearing the crown now. So.
She actually has a little like headband tiara. I was thinking that could just represent the crown.
Oh, okay.
See, when I had crown in my mind's eye, it was real bulky. Like
That's why I
Are you
described it
wearing
as the
slippers?
tiara.
Yeah, are you wearing slippers?
I'm wearing sandals.
Are they sandals or slippers?
Sandals.
I mean, we have a photo of the crown of the Dragonlords.
Yeah, it should be in your handouts.
Yeah.
Oh, which,
when
by
I
the
get
way,
back, I could probably get someone to, change
there-
the appearance.
of a magical artifact, probably.
Yeah, I just cast minor illusion.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
I'll wear mine proudly.
You can't have my disguise hat. I need it.
For your nose.
Yes.
Okay, this crown isn't. The crown in the picture isn't very it's not gaudy or anything. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good-looking crown. Let's see. It would have been cooler if it was like the Super Crown from Mario memes, but I don't know. That's a different kind of game, I guess. So, alright. Let me bring you guys over to this here foresty glade where you guys settle in for the night. Mostly because I'm just curious how things might pan out. Alright. Most especially, I want to see if Estrella is going to stick to this whole, tiny hut of Mytros or whatever. Mytros' loving bosom, whatever you name the spell. So.
I'm able to lie in the loving embrace of my goddess every night. Heck yeah.
Okay.
I love the head.
The what?
It's not.
The head for the Gorgon. I left it at Grandpa's.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You keep pasting it up, man. And the eyes.
Well, those are a part of the loving embrace of Mytros or whatever. Actually, there is a, let's see. We don't need the moon here. What the hell? There we go. There we go. Alright. Assuming you guys divvy up, or, put all the prisoners in one place, that sort of thing. Talus trying to befriend this plant, I assume. Will Talus join us? There he is. Yeah. You got this guy. So, tents start being set up. And, there's some stink eye kind of going over towards the magic space force field as the tents are being set up. But, she's not going to make a big deal out of it because, that's it's over. People like different things. So, that being said, Hypatia, while everybody was sort of getting out of the the fortress. Did you happen to pick up anything on the way out of the restored temple, or do you have
I
a
was
different
gonna
plan to introduce
maybe-
that?
I was gonna maybe do some poking around in the mine's closets.
Okay,
Just,
fair enough.
Might get bored while we're there. Might just poke around.
All right. Where are you guys keeping Zephyrus? Does he get his own tent? Is he just going to stay by Talus the whole time?
Yeah, I think he's. I mean, I would say he has to hang out with Plant.
I mean,
Okay.
is Kyra making a spot for him in her tent too? Or...
Wow.
There were
yeah.
some loaded gazes going on throughout the course of the day.
So Karina, remembering how bad it was sleeping in this magic thing, is going to just sleep in a regular tent, like a regular person. So, Kyra looks at Anastasia, setting up a tent. The tent does have Anastasia's name embroidered into it.
Aww.
Yeah, but she understands if you want to sleep in a magic force field. So it's just
The last time there wasn't even a tent for me, so I just slept in a tree. So I'd prefer the tent.
Okay.
We'll go in the tent. When that whole argument was happening, I was afraid to ask because it felt like mom and dad were fighting. So I'm just like, I'll just hide in this tree.
I feel like with everyone who goes in a tent, Kyra's probably shooting Astreus like some smug look, but he doesn't.
Oh, for
notice
sure.
Nor care.
For sure, yeah. Okay. All right. In that case, let me check for some randos if anything happens during the night.
Talus will tie a rope from his foot to around Goat Boy, just in case he tries to make a bolt for it.
Okay.
And I'll leave his hands tied too, because he doesn't need them.
All right. Talus, during the night, there is something that happens. Your prisoner, once he has discerned that everyone else is asleep, kind of sits up and he looks to you and he says, "Strange man, is it alright if I speak with you? I know the others wished me silenced, but I have many questions for you."
I'll give you 3 questions.
Oh, like some sort of mythical beast. How exciting. I have heard that there are other worlds beyond the boundaries of Thylea. It is said that my great god Helios came from such a world. The tales, the songs, and he kind of looks over towards Kyra's tent with like a bemused look on his face, claim that you fell from the sky, but that before that, you came from such a world. Is that true?
It does seem to be the case.
Interesting. Can you briefly, or as eloquently as you'd like, describe to me this faraway place? The idea of a world different from this one ignites my imagination.
From what bits I can remember, it was a world in some ways more advanced than this. Our magic and machinery were one and the same. Here, the artisan and the magic tend to be very separate entities. Whereas where I was from, we had ships that flew in the air, and soldiers like myself made of metal and wood.
Ships that fly in the air. And he looks very thoughtful, as if he's remembering something. That's very interesting. These ships that fly in the air, do you feel that perhaps you fell from such a ship?
It's a possibility. But in truth, I do not know.
Well, the songs say that you were discovered on the shores of the Amazon's island, taken in and treated quite well. I wonder. I have run out of questions, but I am grateful that you indulged me and my curiosity.
Well, from what I can tell, once you have repaid your debt, you can do as you please. That is only fair.
If I can survive Vulcan's wrath, he is very protective of his children. I feel
But he is also But he is also a just God. If you thought she was actually dead, and that these things were up for grab, one cannot fault you that much.
In truth, I sought to have a piece of her for myself. When the others called upon me, I was deep in grief. Finding out it was all a ruse and that I have put myself in such a difficult situation. For one such as she, it feels like another malicious prank in a long, never-ending series of such antics. And yet, I would endure 100 more.
Then may I suggest something to you? Be honest with the Forge Father. He can tell deception a mile away. He can see your impurities. But he is also a father and understands more than you might think.
Well, man from the sky, I hope that you find here in Thylea whatever it is that you're seeking.
Talus will give him a nod and then go back to watching the surroundings.
If you ever find a way to leave this place, I would very much like to go with you. In case you need traveling companions or a crew or, I don't know, maybe you find one of those sky ships, need someone to keep your air sailors entertained, whatever they would be called.
Who knows? Maybe your Helios knows of such things.
I have no doubt that he does. I would say that you should seek him out, but he can be quite dangerous. best to leave him to his own devices, I think. Well, I have decided not to escape, so I will be going to sleep now. And he just sort of like lays down and just like immediately is out. All right. That was the only encounter worth mentioning. As the morning comes, the rain, actual rain happening in Thylea, it's incredible. The rain is light but constant, just a kind of soft pattering, enough so that you're always damp and a little cold, but not completely miserable.
Seeing the rain in the morning and getting an idea of what the outside is like, Astraeus will dress accordingly before dropping the dome. Won't be dealing with that damp sleeping bag like everyone else.
Fair enough. All right. For breakfast, Kyra prepares for you guys breakfast pockets. It's some kind of weird, like, meat pie, but it's also got, like, eggs and mushrooms and stuff, cheese in there. Yeah. The bread that she used is strange. It's extremely thin, almost like parchment. And she wrapped it much like a mother would swaddle a baby. But in the end, it's just a simple Thylean meat pie breakfast edition. It's certainly not a breakfast burrito. All right, so back to the
This
main
is
map.
almost like a pocket of food. I bet it would taste good hot.
It is hot. It is super hot.
Can I have one?
Yeah, I made enough for everybody. Of course you could have one.
Is it like
She's gonna-
uncomfortably hot? Oh, good.
Yeah, she's gonna just take a bite out of it.
Oh, see, that's the problem. Yeah, you take a point of fire damage because, you gotta like bite it, but not bite it all the way. And she kind of looks over at Zephyrus and kind of waggles her eyebrows at him. He blushes and looks to the north. I don't know what's to the north, but he looks to the north. She's like, you break it open, then you let it cool down a little bit. Otherwise, it's like you just ate hot lava.
If you bite into like in like some parts in like the center, do you take like a point of cold damage?
Hey, oh wow, she seems hurt, but she's she understands this is a legitimate question. It could happen sometimes. I don't know. They don't have any microwaves here in Thylea, and I don't have time to explain that part. So just yeah. All right. So we're heading back to see my dad. We're gonna drop off Loser, and then we're gonna head south. Is that the plan? Like more rampage, real rampage this time, or did you guys need to swing by Estoria and all that jazz?
I think Talus also wanted to go visit some of his friends.
Oh, it's Druid.
We have to deliver the
Friend.
plant.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I support you. I'm here for you guys. So, like, it's no big deal. I got one of my instruments back, so.
You would know best, Kyra.
We'll get them all.
Is this?
Oh no, I don't. I am a neutral observer.
No, I mean, you knew this person. Do you think there'll be a really big problem if we let it go on for any longer?
Well, I mean, this is more people falling under her sway. I mean, it's not a big deal. So, nothing you guys couldn't handle. No, it'll be good. It'll be good. I think there's some stuff going on in Estoria that we need to check up on anyways, so.
We also should probably tell Versi, right?
Oh, quest turn-in. Right. Okay.
I feel like it's kind of a big deal that we completed our trial.
It's a pretty big deal. Like, you completed the 3 labors that she set before you. So, how big a deal is it? Do you want like a parade when we get to Estoria, or because it's a pretty big deal? I mean, we
Can
could
you
have a
surprise
parade.
us?
Well, now that I put it out there, you're not going to be very surprised if anything happens.
Well, I'm not really expecting a parade.
Uh-huh.
Wink.
Mm-hmm.
She has a very big, exaggerated wink.
Ah, okay. I see. You don't think a parade might be too much? I mean, I feel
Yeah,
like
what if the Titans
Philippocles
get
went from
pissed?
like angry orphan to like spoiled prince in a very short amount of time. I'm worried that if we keep like ladling all this adoration on him, he might I don't know, go to the dark side of celebrityness, you know?
You mean the Timberlake?
Yeah. Yep. Like the Timberlake of Arisia.
That was years ago. You need to let it go.
And it's whatever. So, all right, yeah, sure. Mithril Mines and then Estoria. Let's move it out. Are we lingering in the Mithril Mines? Are we spending a day there and then going to Estoria? Probably. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's do it. So back to the main map. You guys travel the few remaining hours that were needed to get to the Mithril Mines. And, yeah. I don't even know what to tell you. I really need to make like a location thing if you're going to keep visiting these goddamn mines. So you're at the Mithril Mines. Vulcan greets you guys warmly. And he wants to know, so, how did it go? Did you manage to... Oh, there he is. As he kind of looks over and sees Zephyros. Zephyros, for his part, has his lovely chin set firm and just sort of stares at Vulcan unblinking, unwavering. In the background, the plant sings show tunes, kind of ruining the dramaticness of the stare down, but it's kind of par for the course. All right. Does anybody want to intercede, or do you just let these two dudes like stare each other down for a while?
I'll let Vulcan know he did come willingly to repent for his actions.
He also started a cult to take worshippers away from Mytros.
He banged my aunt, I'm pretty sure.
Well, all right. You're dropping a lot of information on me all at once. First and foremost, my daughter, she is her own woman, and a grown-up lady woman. So, if she wants to do that sort of thing, it's none of my business. Thylea is a land full of liberal thinking and free love. And he's like blushing like super hard under his beard, like super hard. This is taking a lot out of this guy to say all this stuff.
I just hope she didn't show him the pickle costume.
So, what I'm trying to say is that's neither here nor there. Now, you stand accused, Zephyros, of stealing from one of the 5. On that, we need to settle on an accord. Why did you do it? And Zephyros explains that similar to what he said to Talus, that when he heard of Kyra's death, he was heartbroken. He wanted something to remember her by. When he was approached by the other winds, he took them up on their offer, and that is that. So, you know, that's handled. Cool. So, yeah, he kind of looks around like maybe things will be okay now, because, you know, I put it all out there and stuff, the truth. And for his part, Vulcan kind of looks to you guys for any additional info regarding the theft.
He did willingly give up the information on the other three compatriots.
Vulcan looks a little mixed about that. Like, it's nice that he did, but it's also kind of like shitty that he did. He would like sell out his allies. You know what I mean? Like, he's a pretty lawful guy. So, you know, good and evil and all that is cool. But as a lawful individual, it feels kind of bad to him that this guy would sell out his allies. But he kind of nods and he says, "Well, that does show some regret and some repentance. And Kyra, you guys came to an agreement then. He would work off his crime here in the mines." And she nods. All right. Well, I have plenty of work to do. And your songs and your dexterous hands will come in great use. So, welcome aboard. Now, you also stand accused by Astreus Rade, cleric of the Five, specifically of the Great Mytros, of starting a cult. And he kind of looks around, and he's like, well, it's not really a cult, you know, if the god is real. I mean, a cult is like, if it's bad, right? Eh?
I'm just shaking my head,
I
like
mean,
like
you
he's
had
just
to
digging himself
charm
in.
You had to charm everybody to believe your real cult.
Well, I charmed them to make them happy about repairing the temple, but after a while, most of them didn't need to be charmed. I have a pretty good idea of whose cult it is, but I'd like you to say it so that I don't jump to any conclusions. And yeah, Zephyros gets real quiet. Kyra gets real quiet. Even the plant gets real quiet. Kind of shuffles behind Talus. It was, you know, for Helios. And you see Vulcan kind of nod his head. The golden god. And Zephyros is like, yeah, that's him. So he's still around then.
This Helios is a real being?
Oh, he's real. He's real. I mean, most things seem to be in this land. But never you mind. He's not worth a single moment's thought. He's a selfish braggart. He's why, he's nearly as bad as that beautiful bumbling idiots down in Eresia. Almost. No, I'd say he's worse. I'd say no offense there, Miss Reset, but there's just no forgiving what your people's god did.
Reset isn't there.
Oh, you're not there at all?
Yeah, she went to go practice, and then she's running over to Hypatia right now.
Oh, I had absolutely no idea whatsoever. Cool. Thanks for letting me know. Well, then he looks around and sees the recess out there, and he's like, good. Then she's not about to hear what I'm gonna say next. Everyone down in Arisia, they're all just like him. Just full of themselves. Just selfish. All they do is worry about how they look and how people are gonna perceive them. And you know what the worst part is? When it finally comes down to it, when you finally need them, huh? Where are they? They're off preening their feathers. They're off dolling themselves up in the mirror. They're not standing by you on the battlefield. No, they're hiding in their lovely palaces. And he hawks like a huge wad, and he spits it on the ground, and it sort of melts into the stone a little bit.
I mean, Arisia and Mytros, and therefore by extension, Estoria have often warred against each other. Why would they be expected to stand at the side of their enemies? And Reset has joined us.
For now. Till that no-good narcissist comes up with some bullshit reason why she should be helping Arisia instead of all of Thylea, because that's just how they are. And the way I feel about that narcissist doesn't even come close to the absolute disappointment I feel about this Helios guy. So I need you kids to just listen. I don't know how he got a hold of this one. And he just grabs Zephyros by the ear and like pulls on it really hard. But you don't let him get you. You don't let him get you. If you ever run into him, you don't listen to him. You don't listen to his lies. Don't be blinded by his gleaming golden exterior. Know that in his core, he's rotten. I'm gonna chalk this up to you being an absolute idiot. He says to Zephyros. And I'm gonna forgive you. Now, I see you're already naked. Go get an apron and get to work. Alright, and he kind of clops on his goat hooves deeper into the forge. Alright. So, Phil, I've been thinking. You've been needing something to put all them body parts in, since you seem to be so obsessed with them.
I do, Grandpa.
I heard, back in Estoria, at the Third Wish, they got a special bag what can hold many things inside it. It's sought after by many, but I told them to hold it for you, in case you wanted to pick it up for yourself. You bring that back to me, and I could fix the inside of it. What that it will keep things nice and cold in there.
Ooh. That's perfect. Then the stuff won't go rotten. That's been a problem.
Alright, well, you're welcome to stay here for the night, if you're so inclined. Else, I'll see you when I see you. And Kyra, I'm sorry that all your special friends decided to rob you when they thought she was dead. Then he just kind of like turns and just walks back into the forge. My special friends? That's a really weird way of putting it. Alright.
I think we all know what he meant.
Okay, are we spending the night, or are we just gonna force march it to Estoria?
You would all probably look around now and not be able to see Hypatia, Reset, and Anastasia.
Yeah, we're missing some people. We can't quite move yet.
All right. Fine.
Where
Phil.
would there be a grove anywhere near here?
This far out of the old wood? Let me double check. Yeah, I would say this far outside of the old wood, no. Definitely not.
Okay.
Yeah. You're gonna have to keep this plant with you a little bit longer. Okay. Alright. Anybody else have any business here at the mines?
I mean, as you leave, you're probably gonna come across a blanket fort with a, like, scrawled in crayon girls only sign outside.
Oh. Alright. You actually have a template for that in the templates folder.
Oh, I do?
It should be, or it's in the equipment folder. It actually might be in the equipment folder. But you actually could drag that bad boy out onto the map.
Oh, I can!
Yeah.
Oh, wait, here it is. Boom. Boom.
Oh my god. Is that like a ball pit filled with plushies?
Yeah.
In the ball pit. I think we're all in there.
Yeah, and like books everywhere. It's so great. So great.
Alright. You guys hear from outside the blanket fort a cry of outrage. What in Lutheria's haunted cunt is this?
I'll poke my head out and I'll say, I found it in a closet over there. Isn't it great? These things, these like little invisible things are giving me cocoa. You want some cocoa, Kyra?
Are you, this thing, it didn't happen to look like a really nerdy cloak before you turned it into this, copyright infringement tent.
No, it didn't. It looked like a really awesome cloak.
Oh no, is this Kyra's old cloak? She found.
This is, I mean... Is the plushy ball pit still there?
Come in.
Yeah?
She, kinda, like, pulls her shirt out, looks down, she's like, yeah, I guess I qualify. Alright, she, yeah, she comes in. And looks around, and you can see that she's, in her mind, being transported way back in time. Way, way, way back in time. Just how I remember it. Yeah. Pretty
Look at her and
cool.
say, Is this yours?
Oh, no. It's not mine. I'm so sorry. So, yeah, I kind of thought that she had just gotten rid of this, but I guess in a way she did. She just sort of misplaced it. So, no, this was my sister's.
Like, it's Hypatia just looks like, wow, it's even more awesome now.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, she, yeah. I remember my first purple tent. I was really proud of it, and I showed it to her, and like a week later, she had this thing. So, yeah.
So,
But I mean, if you like extra room, I guess, and like hot cocoa and a ball pit full of stuffed animals and
Hypatia,
bookcases.
Kyra.
would you
It's
say
so
that the fort is better than the tent?
I mean,
No.
First
Yeah.
of all, Zagreus, I
incredibly
hope
useful. What
that
will we
you're
do without
saying that
Kyra's
from
tents?
outside, because you are a
Absolutely,
boy.
I'm calling that
Yeah.
in.
And
I'll
secondly,
poke my head out and take the sign down and say it was just a joke. You can come in if you want.
you probably don't want to come in because you've got.
As soon as I come in, I'm going to say, "Wow, forts are better than tents."
Oh. I want to push him out. Get out of here.
He'll he'll smirk as he'll let himself be let out.
No, it's great. I'm glad you found something cool. And when we go and we see her, you could tell her how you found her old cloak, and yeah, you have something. You have like an intro conversation piece. So that'll be great.
I'll offer
I
a prayer
squeal
of
a
thanks to Valis for Hypatia's find.
Yep.
I will say though, my
But
magic says it'll probably fall apart after an hour, so that's. I'm a little sad
oh,
about that.
also, I don't want to tell you this because I want to be super mean and spiteful, but because I really need you to like prevent the apocalypse, I'm gonna tell you, don't try to open up like any extra dimensional spaces inside of that, or you will destroy yourself.
Yeah, no, I got that.
Okay.
There were signs all over the academy about the bags of holding.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, fishing you out of the astral sea and all that would just be, just be a pain. So, but yeah, it's great. It's cool. Really glad you found that. So, it's neat. Great. Is everybody ready? Because I guess it's late now. Took forever to find you guys, so I guess we're gonna sleep here tonight, and we'll see you in the morning. And that sounds great. And you guys, she kind of leaves the tent. It is gone.
No. I guess if it disappears, she would just fall onto the floor.
Oh no! Like Kyra left, the tent's still there.
Oh.
Kyra's gone.
Reset is like 5 feet under the plushies.
It is quite a find. It is quite a find. You can fill them in on the deets if you want, Hypatia, or keep it mysterious like Wizrobes do. It's totally up to you.
Well, I'm gonna say I probably haven't figured out exactly all of the details just yet, but I will share that I think it only lasts for an hour. So I don't know why there's a bed in here if I can't sleep in it, but okay.
All right. Does anybody get up to any shenanigans? Oh wow, this music got a little ominous there. Does anybody get up to any shenanigans that night in the forge, or is it just kind of hanging out, guest quarters, checking on the progress of things being repaired, all that good stuff?
I think Astreus would probably just seek out Vulcan at some point in the evening, and he'd be like far more timid about it now that he believes that this is actually Vulcan and not just a crazy dwarf who called himself that. So like he's totally gonna do that thing where he shows up with like a couple pictures of mead and he's just like, drink.
Oh yeah, he's always down to drink. Yeah, he would definitely take. Yeah.
And yeah, basically, essentially just going to be. He's sitting next to one of his gods. He's going to be awkwardly trying to make conversation and just to spend time and get that face time, because it's like Pythor was larger than life, but very much focused on Phil and kind of not what I expected out of one of the gods. Kyra is amazing, but appears to be more childish than I believe she is, but he's still like, a little put off by their little prank war. And so Vulcan's like the closest thing he's got to like a tangible, serious, god from the First War.
Okay.
So Astreus would just basically want to, and I mean, he's not going to steer the conversation. Whatever Vulcan wants to talk about, he's
Right.
taking very much the tact of, I'm just here to sponge.
It seems that all told, Vulcan is actually not all that much for conversation. In that way, he is very much like a dwarf. He's worked hard all day. He doesn't mind drinking with you, but he seems to sort of redirect conversation to you telling how things went at the Necropolis, and you telling how things went when you fought the Cyclops, and so on and so forth. And doesn't really seem to volunteer very much information about himself. He does get to talking about his frustrations about Lutheria cursing the mines, about their lack of quality ore, but for the most part, you get the feeling that the energetic ranting that you've kind of seen from him very much seems to be brought out by the proximity to his immediate family, and even though you are a servant of the five gods, and there's some history there, he's just he's a bit more reticent, but not uncomfortably so.
I mean,
yeah,
I have him asking me questions about things that we got up to.
Yeah.
I would be deeply honored to tell him all of, answer
Sure.
any of his questions, because he's specifically showing attention to what we're doing. So I wouldn't even consider him being reserved or anything in talking about himself. I just he asks a question, I'm going to answer his question.
Right. So Karina does seek out Talus and gives to him several flasks that she has with her, and she lets you know that this is Gorgon blood that she harvested while you guys were inside the labyrinth.
Oh,
Yeah, because she remembered Vulcan mentioning something about Gorgon's blood, and so she, she saw that you and Phil were distracted and whatnot, and you took the head and everything, but she went and made sure that she grabbed some blood for you, and she just hasn't really had a good chance to give it to you because things have been kind of crazy and everything.
well, thank you, Karina.
Mm-hmm.
This is very helpful.
So, this plant, we're gonna let the others take care of their business in Estoria, and then you and I are going to deliver it to the druids.
That is my plan. You're more than welcome to join me if you wish, but I don't want you to have to, I know the druidic aspect is not necessarily what you're as interested in. So
I'm just not sure I want to go to Estoria again, because if I see my fathers and they see me, I worry they will ask me to stay, and I worry that I will agree. And I feel like that is very selfish. But that is why I would prefer to just avoid Estoria for now.
well, you are a very capable individual. Would you want to take the plan to the Grove? We've been there before.
Myself?
It's completely up to you.
I
Otherwise, I'm more than happy to go with you.
I could try.
Well,
Yeah, okay. I will do that. I will do that. Where should I meet you after I have completed the task?
when we are getting ready to leave Estoria, I will, out of character, how far from Estoria
Yeah,
is the
you
grove?
guys work out a place to meet. It's all good. Yeah, it's all
I
good.
was thinking I could send Paratos to go find her.
Oh,
Tell her that
slick.
we're gonna leave so they can meet
Okay.
on the road.
Yeah, you guys arranged for medieval fantasy style rough approximation of where and when to meet up. So all right, yeah. She's super excited. She's gonna wake up hella early. She's gonna escort this plant. This is the kind of shit a low-level adventurer, this is what they dream of. She does, however, go and ask Lorius to help her. Lorius looks at Phil and says, well, this girl, she means so much to me. I risked everything to save her. You wouldn't let me send her off on her own.
I would feel better if you went with her.
All right. Then we will meet you when plant sitting is over. All right.
Before they leave, I'll remove the band of temperature warmth because we're in warm enough climates now.
Sure. All right. So the three of them are going to head off on an adventure. Fair enough. All right. That night at the Mythril Forge, Anastasia, Kyra kind of approaches you and sees that you are probably at some point kind of by yourself or with Soul.
Yeah.
And she's humming like a melody as she approaches that is the same melody that you often hear from your necklace as you are drifting off to sleep. And she kind of looks around and is like, are you busy or?
No, that song.
Yeah, I hear it
Uh,
at night. It's very catchy. Not sure what it's all about, but I like it.
Oh.
Hey, so I appreciate you sticking this out. I know that it has to be really frustrating to see the others making so much progress. I don't know, gaining so much. And for you, it's just, I don't know. I guess I just don't want you to get so frustrated that you abandon everyone like Alexi did. Whatever's happened to you, we're gonna figure it out. And I understand, I think more than anybody, that patience is hard. But I want you to know that I will do whatever I can to help you find out, I don't know, whatever the heck it is you're trying to figure out. I'm pretty sure you've told me a couple of times, but I feel terrible. I can never remember what you're talking about. But
Yeah.
like, whatever it is, we're gonna figure it out. That's the important thing. I want you to know that.
Thank you, Kyra. But I've waited a long time. I mean, what's a little longer? It's nothing.
Look, it sounds really dumb, but if you want to tell me everything, I will listen. And even if I can't remember, I want you to know that in this moment right now, I am listening. And I do care. And maybe you'll feel better knowing that for a few fleeting seconds, someone else heard you.
Yeah, she would definitely do that.
All right. As you tell her what has happened, she's overcome by grief for you and for your people. Her heavy Witcher 3-esque eyeshadow just running all over her face, big snot bubble inflating, like the whole deal. When you finish the tale of what has transpired, she just sort of like clutches you and just kind of is sobbing. Within a few moments though, she kind of like takes a big snorkel, gets all them boogies back in her nose, looks around. She's like, okay, well, anytime you want to tell me, like just start in, okay?
Thank you, Kyra.
Oh no, did it already happen?
Yeah. Oh.
Well, let me show you my loot. And she takes out the loot that you guys rescued. And she plays music and sees if you want to sing along and tries to sort of move things into a happier situation.
Yeah, absolutely. She'll take out her
Okay.
lyre and harmonize.
All right. So, the next day, you guys head out for Estoria. Alright. I don't think anything crazy's happened to Astoria since you were there last time. Let me double check. Let's see. You're not there. There we go. Oh, Stud Muffin's there though. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, you're not dead anymore. Hold on, take the X off of you. There we go. All right. So you guys return to Astoria. I guess just chime in. We'll go round robin. Reset. What are you trying to do in Astoria? And I guess before that, do you guys want the updated shop inventory?
Yes.
Always.
Or do you hate magic
Always.
items? I know there's D&D games where they don't let you buy and sell magic items. That sounds pretty cool. I mean, maybe we could try that. I don't know. Like,
There's other games where just all you do is buy and sell magic items.
oh, hey, I'm getting some PTSD from Sunday there. Hold on now. So, all right. No, it was a very fun shopping episode. What am I saying?
I had a good time.
Oh, I did want to request if maybe I could get one of those the necklaces of temperature control.
Oh, the two chokers of warmth.
I could just get one of those,
That's
please.
up to you. Yeah, that's up to you guys. However you guys want to divvy up your stuff. I posted it into treasures. That is the updated inventory for the shop. All right.
Take it. We have 2 of them, so
Let's see.
I think they require attunement, right? Ring of Worms.
Pretty sure, yeah, because they grant a resistance, and most stuff that grants a resistance requires that. But it would say on the sheet. Okay.
Yeah, so whoever else has an attunement slot can take the other one.
Oh no. Yeah, requires attunement. There's the stats for it. It just uses a neck slot instead of a ring slot. Though I guess there aren't really slots in 5e. You just run out of attunement slots for the most part. Though I guess you couldn't really wear 2 helmets.
Challenge accepted.
Oh jeez.
So I don't know where we are on money, but that scroll of gentle repose could come in handy one day.
I think we need to get the bag but we don't have the money.
Hmm.
Are we going to try and heist that Ion Stone and Mastery? Put Loot and
God.
Wire in...
I can't believe it's still there, honestly. Well, I guess who would have the money to buy it? Oh, legendary item.
Kyra moves really, really fast.
When they all move as fast as Kyra.
So,
I mean, you can rob the local stores then, too.
No,
I mean, the stories say that the reason Kyra never married is she made a proclamation she would only marry someone that could beat her in a foot race. That is the popular story about that. All right, we're set. What business are you getting up to in Estoria?
In terms of actual business, I think what she would do is she'd find Dymus, first of all, check up on how the shoes are going. And then she'd go see Theopompus, I guess. Unless there's anything else happening in the town that's like that catches her attention. That's probably the two things she'll do.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because as you guys cross through the western gate of the city, a tremendous fanfare begins to play. All sorts of decorations are up, and music is playing, and you hear the pounding of drums, and looking down the main street, you guys see a spectacular parade.
What is this?
There's elephants, there's dancers, there are wagons with sort of weird paper mache versions of you guys, sort of like bobbleheading in the back of the wagons as they are pulled by oxen. People line the streets and they cheer as the chosen of the Oracle return from their third labor. There is much rejoicing and much celebrating in the streets of Estoria that day and well into the night. I mean, that's all I got for you. That's the parade. So,
yeah. Very excited. She she starts marching along with the parade.
Okay.
And that's probably what she'll do.
All right. Yeah, they sell they sell a lot of Reset brand sandals because of the rising popularity of the Eregian monk and her place among the chosen, and the quality has slightly improved. They did manage to contract one of the dwarves from the Mithril mines, and they have come with Vulcan's permission to teach them the art of cobbling.
Dymus, these are miles better than they were before.
He blushes a little bit, but he nods and he says, "It is true. Your advice was very good, and we swallowed our pride and went and found tutelage. Now we can truly begin the part of our lives that we put off for so long. Thank you for your wisdom."
She nods. I always believed in the two of you. I always did. Now,
all right,
and
they give you a pair of sandals that they worked on, and if this was quantified by a numerical skill check, these sandals were created with an 18. Yeah. You feel like you could wear these without bleeding.
a single tear sheds from her left eye, and she sits down and she puts them on temporarily
Mhm.
while she's in the story.
All right. Yeah, seeing you wearing your own merch just makes people even more excited. They are back ordering Reset Brand sandals. You see the quickest glance at Kyra kind of making her way through the crowd, and she kind of looks at you and gives you a quick thumbs up as she disappears back into the crowd. All right. One of the things that you discover is that there are now the Chosen of the Oracle action figures. These are clay and wood dolls that are that have 8 points of articulation. Pretty fancy shit. They are selling like hotcakes, and some of the children are bold enough and brave enough to come up and show you their toys. And some of them are bold enough and brave enough to come up and start hitting you with their toys. Do any of you murder the children?
No.
Well,
Okay, all right.
no, I just
Okay.
I stopped Philippocles.
Yeah, so Phil, I think the only awkward moment is when a child runs up to you. He's a very small child, possibly a halfling child, and he's hitting you with a very small action figure, and he's like, "Ooh, watch out, son of Pithor! It is I, Alexi, the greatest of the Chosen. So great, I started my own team, and I will wrestle you like I did when we first met." And he just keeps hitting you in the calf over and over again with his Alexi action figure.
Can I crush it in my hands?
I mean, you can. Your dad's the king of the city, so yeah. All right, the little boy, he watches as your hand opens, and just the dust and sawdust of the clay and wood just whoosh, floats away in the wind. You see tears welling in his massive, oversized eyeballs.
Sorry, I don't know my own strength.
All
Just
right.
leave him.
He scampers away into the crowd, his tears streaming behind
can we-
him.
Can we chase after the boy?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Is anyone else coming?
No, I'm not hunting down some poor little kid in the middle of a crowd. We're gonna start a riot.
I just go after him and I give him another Alexi toy,
Okay.
but it's probably not as good condition because I came late to the
Yeah, the little halfling boy, he looks at you and he says, "Oh, thank you. You are Reset, the great hero from Arisia.
yeah.
I had a pair of your sandals, but they hurt my feet. So I gave them away to my sister."
Oh, did you buy them last week?
It was a while ago.
I'm sorry about that.
It is
And,
okay. You are my second favorite hero after Alexi. I especially like the story that the bards of Kira tell, where you were stuck in Philippocles' butt cheeks.
Oh, yeah, that's a great story. I
Mhm.
actually have to go train now. So I'll see you later. And she's gonna take the doll away. And yeah.
I thought you were just gonna crush it again.
I was considering crushing it, but she doesn't have enough strength for that, so she just takes it away.
Seals it.
He tries to crush it.
And then you like disappear into the crowd. All right, you just hear the sad sobs of tiny halfling child as you take his second Alexi toy and disappear into the crowd with it.
Dude, he said he was your second favorite. You're so heartless.
That's how Arisians do. That's how Arisians do.
Phil, I thought you were gonna crush it and then put like yours in his hand instead. When he didn't do that, I was like, oh man, what a jerk.
I thought about it, but I just didn't like him.
All right, so Philippocles, did you have anything in particular that you needed to take care of while you were in town?
Nah, just normal, hanging with the fam.
Okay.
I did want to go to the third wish and be like, oh yeah, Pythor said, you got something for me. I mean, not Pythor, sorry. New family, Vulcan.
Okay. The proprietor looks. Looks down at you just slightly because she's a centaur. And she kind of like raises an eyebrow, and she's like, "I was asked by the mischievous old dwarf to hold on to this in case you are interested. Now, I understand that you are a friend of Hypatia, and she is a friend of mine. But I do have a business to run here. You are aware of the price? This is a highly sought after item."
I thought it was kind of like he paid for it and I pick it up kind of thing.
Oh. No, that dwarf, and she gets a little embarrassed. That dwarf is very forgetful about paying his bills. If you'd like to pay your his outstanding bills for him, I do have the documents here.
I mean, we could just put the bag on that.
Ooh.
I'm his grandson, so like. I can kinda
Your
do that.
your grandfather is a dwarf.
Well, like, yeah, I guess if we're trying to keep his secret, yeah, he's a dwarf.
I don't
I see-
understand. What secret are we keeping?
Well, then we wouldn't be keeping it, would we?
Oh, are you implying that cheapskate dwarf that pretends to be Vulcan is Vulcan?
I kind of nod, like.
And she just kind of lets out like a small peal of laughter and kind of covers her mouth. And she's like, "I find that very hard to believe. I have seen him," and she kind of points out the window, right? "I have seen him carried home from that drinking establishment many times when he had too much to drink. I do not feel that Vulcan, the god of craft, would, do something like that."
That tab of his, so we could just put that on his, and I'll remind him of it when I see him next. Tell him he's gotta pay up.
Well, now, a story I do believe is that your sister is soon to be queen of the city, and your father is the living god Pythor. I mean, why not just ask them for the money? I hope
My sister.
I hope I am not overstepping.
You kind of are.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't want to talk to her about money ever again.
It's one of those situations.
Yeah. So that tab of Vulcans. That sounds good, right? And I'll remind him. I'll be like, hey, you gotta go pay up. She's tarnishing your name.
Yes, your grandfather, Vulcan, who owes me money. She just kind of winks at you. Listen, I will hold on to the item a bit longer, and perhaps you, with your many friends and family and resources, will be able to procure the drachmae necessary for this transaction.
Should have. Okay. All right. Thank you for doing that.
All right. So,
I'm
Is
so
you return-
happy for once your family name didn't get you something. I know it's
As
horrible
you-
to say, but
as you head home, you find your father and your sister are not so much in a fight, but he's kind of like nagging at her about all of the things that she's going to need to do once she is queen, and she is sort of looking at him just like, this guy that ate cheesy potatoes for like 5 years and could get out of bed telling me how to run my goddamn city, kind of thing. As you go in, they're both pleased to see you, and immediately your sister goes from pleased to see you to, oh, it's you, nice to see you, kind of mode. But your father runs up and crushes many of your bones, pick you up like a little baby, spin you around, push you down, and they do want to hear about your adventures in the necropolis at Telemach. So that kind of would eat up a lot of your day. Anastasia, what are you getting up to?
I don't know. I don't think she would be as enthusiastic about all this attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think maybe she'll tail.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It's a little creepy because there's like, you got like a lot of fanboys and girls, but they're definitely like in the Monster Girls Club. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like there's like a lot of like banners and you know, posters they're holding up that you're kind of drawn sort of lewd. You know what I mean? And like, you know, as a siren, this is a constant thing that you guys have to deal with. Is the over sexualization of sirens in media. But it just kind of comes with the territory of being otherworldly and charismatic, and you know, good singing and performing and being able to fly and you know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's hard to tell often if people are interested in you, or are they interested in the fact that you're a siren. Yeah. And you just kind of feel more of that as the people are kind of like, you know, cheering you on and stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that there's like an exotic dancer in the city who puts on the Anastasia show, where she dresses up like a siren and then strips down, and it's a whole thing. And yeah, so I don't know if you want to go on a rampage. Yeah, I don't know if you want to go for a rampage on that, or if you just kind of accept that that's part of the thing.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, there's a Philippocles version too. So I mean, you know.
Anyway, I don't think she's got anything up to anything too particular. She'd probably trail one or the other. Maybe she's hanging out with Hypatia.
All right.
If her shit's busy, or one of the other.
Sure.
Yeah.
Talus, did you have any business in the city while you're there?
other than checking up with Pythor and spending some time with Hero.
Yeah, Pythor is pleased to see you, and Heros is even more excited to see you. Pythor shows you that he has built an agility course for Heros because he was getting too fat. So he wants him to stay fighting fit. And he shows you Heros running the agility course that he set up. Surprisingly, the agility course looks well built, but extremely dangerous. Like the one that they used in the Disney movie Hercules to train Hercules. Like that's what this man is running your sweet baby piglet through. But Hero seems down for it. He seems down for it. So there's a lot of like leaping from platform to platform, like real American Ninja style. Yeah, he's doing it. Little guy's doing it.
Now, is he seeming to develop almost a supernatural toughness, or is he still just very much a normal?
I mean, for a little Borlet, he's definitely got some moves. So more than likely, he at least bears some of the divine spark of his father.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Now, yeah, Pythor does take you aside, Talus, and he says, Talus. So, listen, I'm gonna be retiring from King eventually. Do you think that my boy would be opposed, right, to me joining up with you guys? Cause I don't want to ask him, cause I don't want to seem like too clingy, right? But I don't know. I mean, I'm not very good at being a king, especially in an age of peace. And I don't know. I mean, you guys are hanging out with Kai. I just kind of thought maybe, you know. Eh?
I think that, unfortunately, that's a question only he could answer.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was a question only Versi could answer. I mean, what with you guys still having the last labor to complete?
That is true. But in general, my only concern would be that the Titans would think we are getting too much influence, too much help from the gods.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Kyra has been very restricted on what she can do to help. And I have a feeling your exuberance and prowess might tip the scales too far.
Yeah. I suppose if I saw anybody beating up my boy, I'd just get in there and just mess him up. Alright. How fares your little one? I heard Kyra's latest song, Treant Baby Daddy. It's rough. It's definitely rough, but I mean, congratulations. And he kind of puts his hand where your womb would be if you were like a human woman. He's the kind of guy that touches pregnant women's bellies without asking.
Talos would laugh and then just point to the plant actually growing on his arm.
Oh, yeah, he kind of pulls his hand away like he touched a hot stove. He's like, oh, okay. Huh. You know, it doesn't look like a treant.
Well, trees do take hundreds of years to grow.
Well, that's, yeah. You know, dragons take a long time to grow, too.
Do you happen to know, that is a good thing to bring up. One of the things for our quests is to help reestablish ourselves as the new dragon, as some of us as the new Dragonlords.
Oh.
We are sadly lacking in dragons.
He kind of gets like a sour look on his face, and he's like, well, I mean, my sister's no good husband has some. You guys already ran into one, remember?
Yes.
Yeah, that poor misled Silver working for Gaius. But it's way worse than that. Yeah, down in Mytros, they've got quite a few dragons, and nobody knows where they came from. Not even my sister, and not Kai, like my sister who actually knows shit, like that sister. Yeah, like a Castus. He's got this huge silver dragon. Goes by the name of Icarus. And from all counts, that guy is just a spoiled shit.
I see these so-called Dragonlords you have now seem to be nothing but dishonoring the title further.
Oh, they're posers and imposters is what they are. Now, don't get me wrong. Dragonlords of old, you know, there were some rough spots for sure. There were some rough spots, but they got a lot done. You know, they could follow through, right? I just feel like this new order, starting up there down in Mytros. I just feel like they're a bunch of fakes. I don't know. It's tricky though. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I've spent the last few years in a haze, and like I don't trust myself to speak out because I don't know what to say anymore. I'm just so frustrated. It's that same frustration that had me hiding in every bowl of wine I could find.
Acknowledging the frustration is the first step to curing it.
Well, that's why I decided that I'm done. I'm done being king. I'm gonna formally pass the title down to Honora. So I'm no politician. I'm gonna train up. I'm gonna wait for the Pact of Peace to be over, and then I'm gonna be right there with you guys.
And we will welcome your aid.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hypatia. Wow, scary. Hypatia. What do you get up to?
Well, this is awkward timing.
Oh, okay. I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Come back to you. Astraeus, what do you get up to in Estoria?
As is my habit, I will make a beeline for the Shrine of the Dragon.
Oh, for the second most knowledgeable NPC in the game. Got it. No longer the first, because someone has returned from the grave. Alright, so you go to the Shrine of the Five to speak with Aesop. Alright.
So, yeah, essentially I want to, A, give him an opportunity to see for himself, and even allow him to hold a crown of the Dragonlords.
Mm.
And I'll also tell him in detail what we saw at the necropolis. I will leave out the fact of Xander's current state. I will simply tell the story in a way to make it appear as though I spoke to the spirit of Xander.
Okay, fair enough.
But other than that, you know, glossing over that part of it, I will essentially give him all the knowledge that I learned from being there. And we'll ask him if he can assist me in trying to find, putting the word out that I'm looking for that thief from the necropolis that was here sometime last week, I think it was.
Okay. He does not have information about the thief, because it was kind of like pretty low on, I think, his radar, all things considered, of what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
When you explain what has happened, do you explain the grave rot, like the defiling of the body and everything?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely has a bit more of an impact on him, and he will help you find more about what's going on there. It is revealed, however, that when you were mentioning all the different people that you saw at the necropolis, he becomes a bit more excited when you are kind of, you know, mentioning some of the people that are buried there. And you come to find out that Aesop is way older than he let on. And that, you know, it's hard to tell with elves. But yeah, he He's,
I don't remember him, do I?
that is the thing. Like, you start to put together that you do remember this guy, and this guy, kind of puts together that, you know, he knew you. Well, he'd already done that. Hearing that you have your memories back, Aesop reveals to you that he was in fact the lover of Adonis Nuerdagen. You know, if his sword work had been as beautiful, etc., etc., the most beautiful of all Dragonlords. Yeah.
He's one of my spirit guardians.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact.
And that kind of he finally reveals that he knew you when you mention seeing Adonis's tomb or whatever. He can't just keep it inside anymore, and confesses that he figured out quite early on and was afraid of Versi's wrath, and also of overstepping and undoing what work she had done. Which is why he went and got the painting of your wife, thinking that that might help you, and has been trying to guide you without overstepping, essentially. But seeing that you are recovered of most of your memories, they embrace you, and you can kind of hear the soft sobs of joy. And as you guys kind of part the embrace, Aesop looks up at you and says, "It is good that you are yourself again." Please forgive me for any deceptions you might feel I did.
I actually wave off, physically appear to be waving off, even the need for an apology. And I say, I understand. I could not, even what Versi did to keep my memories from me, I understand why. I would have been broken if they had all come at once. I'll spend probably the rest of the time just kind of talking to him and sharing memories, and with kind of that sense that tomorrow we can focus on seeing if we can find any information by local soldiers and whatnot about the grave robbers. But it's a rare thing to find someone who remembers what I remember, so I'll take advantage of it.
And you guys do talk of those earlier times when things were fresh and new, and this new frontier and the possibilities and all of that. And by your estimation, Aesop has gotta be super old by now. Like 550, 600 years old at this point. Super old. Yeah. Which makes you a really good historian when you think about it.
That would be.
Yeah.
At one point in the night, I'm definitely going to reveal that Mytros has blessed me with guardians that might not be the exact spirits, but at least come to me as the spirits of those fallen brethren of ours, and I will cast spirit guardians so that he can see.
It's a very heartfelt scene, straight out of Ghosts, one of the greatest ghost romance movies of all time. And the whole Aesop put his hand on Ghost Adonis's face, and tears streaming down the face, that kind of thing. But yeah, it meant a lot to him that you would do that.
I mean, they bring me great comfort.
So you seek the vile fiend who would defile your bride. We will find this information, if they truly are cursed as grave robbers, they will not live. More than like, they are quite dead by now. But we can at least try.
Mm-hmm.
I ask, what is next?
We travel south towards Mytros when we are done here in the city. We have some thieves to deal with that stole from a companion of ours.
Mm-hmm.
And we have yet one more labor to accomplish.
You must acquire your ship.
And that thing that we saw in our vision, that we held, that device that shows us the stars even in the daylight.
True. Without it, the ship would simply drift over the waves. Well, I wish you all of the success and all of the luck. The five know that you'll need it and that you've earned it.
When Estrellas goes to take his leave, he's gonna kind of like stop at the entrance, turn back to Aesop, and just kind of, almost as like it's an offhand comment, recalled at the last moment, but definitely planned that way. He's going to say, "Oh, and Aesop, if over the centuries you've also been privy to the location of a dragon's egg," and I'm going to kind of tap the crown on my head, "now may be the time to reveal such things." And I'll raise an eyebrow, see his reaction before I go.
He gives you a look that definitely you see excitement in the look, but you also see some trepidation. And he says, "I would not distract you or burden you with knowledge you are unable to act upon. But know that there is always a way. The Dragonlords, the true Dragonlords, will rise again."
I'll kind of take a moment to take that in, and then like give him a determined nod and turn and make my leave.
Okay. Hypatia, what do you get up to in Astoria, if anything?
Are we just here for a day, or are we here for longer?
I don't know. Guys, are you here for a few days, or are you just here for a day?
I think if we need to be here longer, we can.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna go check and see if Barthola needed any help. I'm so poor. Or like, if there's anything she needs, like I could track down and sell to her. Like, I don't know. I got these friends that are big into monster parts. Maybe she.
Yeah, she would love to purchase the monster parts that you guys have been collecting for the the normal rate that they usually go for.
Left them all at the Mythril mines.
Great idea, Phil. Great idea.
Well, you
Thanks.
were the one carrying them around. All right.
Okay.
But she seems intrigued by this. So, do you collect a lot of monster parts? And there is that awkwardness where like she's kind of a monster, and like you're kind of a monster, but
No. She's not a monster. She's one of the one of the natural races.
She ain't weird about that at all.
Oh no! I just mean there's a harvesting chart for centaurs. I'm just gonna put it out there. So, but yeah, she does seem intrigued. She says, "I did want to ask, that Philippocles about it, but there's so much masculinity about him. It makes it very hard to... It's too much.
I nod. I understand.
Yeah. He has a look in his eyes of intelligence, and that made me hopeful, but I think it's just artificial. If I had to guess, I think it's the glasses he's wearing.
I'll whisper. It is.
Mm.
It is.
Well,
I didn't need them anymore.
I wanted to broach the subject to him, that I would be willing to part with my dimensional satchel if I became the sole merchant that you would sell your, for lack of a better term, monster parts to. And I would just simply take a portion off of each purchase and apply it towards the outstanding cost of the dimensional satchel. It was not easy to procure. The secrets of making them, they are jealously guarded by the academy in Mytros.
Yeah, of course. Well, I will.
There was a whole symposium where arguments were made for the pros and cons of introducing extra-dimensional storage capacities out into the world at large, and ultimately it was decided that it would cripple the economy because of trade routes and merchants and coastal shipping and that sort of thing. It's very important when you are a wizard to understand that you wield power not just over the arcane, but over all things, society included.
Of course.
I mean, if the archmages willed it, everyone would just have diamonds and mountains of drachmae, and where would that get us? Nowhere.
I mean, I don't know. It sounds pretty good to me, but...
It does until you think that if everyone has it, what is the point of having it?
Well, what is the point of having it? And at this point, we digress into a philosophical debate.
Yeah, she motions for one of her clerks to take over. You guys spent 3 hours discussing the ethics and economy of extra-dimensional spaces. Eventually, you guys go on a tangent about wish spells because that's where wizards always fucking end up. Yeah, and it's a whole thing. So your brain's exhausted. You get some chilled yogurt to sort of cool yourselves down a little bit. But she does eventually come back to the original conversation and say, "You seem much better at handling such a man. Perhaps you could explain to him the situation and arrive at an arrangement."
I certainly will do so.
And it is certainly not my place to tell the king's son how to live his life or handle his affairs. But you may want to tell him it is unbecoming to try and push your citizens around with your birthright.
Yes, I will certainly mention that as well.
Okay. But maybe don't mention it came from me.
Oh, certainly not. Certainly not.
All right. So, anybody have any other business in Estoria?
I gotta find a dead body that's clutching some necklace
Oh, right.
in a gutter or an alley.
Yeah, so Aesop, just like a vampire, right, that is super rich because they've been alive for a long time. That's how elf do when they get super old. So, using his resources, he finds out that the man did not die on the streets of Estoria, and it is said that he left for the city of Mytros. The necklace still in his possession. His body just a husk, just an emaciated husk.
All right. I will thank Asa for his aid, and I'll make a note of it for when we get to Mytros.
Okay.
Hey, Crash, that note you sent earlier, was that about the Gorgon's blood?
Yeah, it was about the Gorgon's blood. Yep.
Okay. Just
All right.
realizing I sent her away. So I was like, oh shit.
Anybody else? Anybody? Going once? Going twice?
Well, if
I mean,
Hypatia
I would-
tells me about the
Yeah, I would.
bag, then I would go
Oh,
pick
okay.
it up. But I would
Okay.
tell her like, I'm gonna keep some of the stuff for me. Like, we may find it useful, but I'll sell you what I don't want.
Okay. She kind of narrows her eyes a bit, and she says, I did not know that you were trained in the creation of magical artifacts.
Well, you see, my grandfather, he kind of.
Oh, yes, the grandfather.
Yeah.
Yes. Hmm.
But I mean, obviously, we got stuff we're trying to
Well,
do.
I am bound, as it were, to my work, and am unable to travel. You are a powerful man, and as she says that, she kind of looks you up and down. The bard's tales speak of your prowess in battle, and your obsession with the dissection of your enemies. I ask then that I receive my fair share of your trophies, and slowly, over time, you will cover the cost of this satchel.
Sounds good to me.
Hmm.
I got some stuff I'll bring to you.
So I will need you to sign these papers. And she takes a bunch of scrolls out, and it's like you agree not to sell any of your trophies to anyone but her, and then she's going to take half the cost of each trophy that you do sell to her, and apply it to the outstanding debt. But you do have the option to pay her in full at any time, which will then free you from said contract.
Yeah, I'll sign it.
Okay.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Nothing fishy.
No. All right.
Oh, I did want to ask around to see if where people are getting their metal from. Any of the craftsmen.
Ah, okay. So, metal. Let's see. We actually have a handout for that. Alright, so bronze is the primary metal that they use in Thylea. In Thylea, bronze weapons are just as effective as iron and steel, because they developed over time techniques to strengthen the bronze during the casting process that make it that powerful. Legend holds that the smiths of Estoria were originally taught this secret recipe for essentially bronze steel by the forge god Vulcan. That being said, because bronze is so baller, they really don't have much of a use for like iron. So iron is mostly worthless, and most people don't know how to work it very well. Nor do they even know that iron can be turned into steel. They have no idea. So when you guys find like steel weapons and steel armor and stuff like that, or iron armor and weapons, that's like alien technology. Like they have no idea how it was made, where it came from, what's going on with it. All that being said, gold is pretty much just valued because it's pretty. Same deal with silver, though silver does have a secondary benefit in that silver powder is one of the ingredients to make healing potions. So that's how silver sort of retains its value there. Platinum being just a fancier type of gold for the most part. Again, it only has value in so much as it is decorative and beautiful and somewhat rare, but none of it makes for good crafting materials. Copper does have value in that the creation of certain automatons uses copper, and that copper is readily available, cheap. They can use it to make like eating utensils and bowls and sturdier stuff than you would get from like clay or wood. As far as mithril goes, and adamantine and star metal and other super rare stuff like that, like there really isn't any place to get it. Like they got it from the mithril mines. Like that's it. Yeah. Like they're getting
Gotcha.
bronze. Yeah, they're getting bronze still from their normal mines. Like always. But as far as like a ready source of mithril, there just isn't one. The best you get is that there might be some islands like that have been unclaimed that might be that might have mithril or adamantine deposits. Star metal, I mean, that's literally meteorites that fall from the sky, so there's really no source of that. But yeah, you ask around, you go to like the popular dwarf hangouts, try to get a little bit more information. You're well received because you were one of the heroes that liberated the mithril mines. But yeah, when you ask, they all get real somber because they've heard that all the ore has been tainted essentially. So
Okay,
Yep.
figured this is a good place to ask.
oh yeah, and it also lets us refresh the whole like bronze theme of the campaign setting as well. So all right. Anyone else have any other business here in Estoria? Did you want to swing by the Oracle, or are you just heading south now, going to track down some thieves? Or are you not tracking down thieves and you're just going straight to Mytros?
I thought we were gonna do Oracle and then Thieves and then Mytros.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do Oracle.
All right, works for me. Let's see what we could do about Oracle. All right, give me just a sec. And that would work out well for picking up your NPC allies as well, because they had to go past Estoria. So if you guys go there, you can kind of like meet up with each other, double back kind of thing. So that works pretty well. Let's see. Oof. All this. All right. Cool. So you guys travel from Estoria to Versi's temple, which is also a temple to Sidon. All right, let me see. We got the temple music. Let's see. I feel like I'm going way back in time for some of this stuff. Maybe? Let's see. coming through a little light. That's all right. It sounds pretty good. Okay. So, you guys travel to meet with Versi. She is very happy to see you. Very, very happy to see Estrellas. It is like you guys are starting to pick up. There is some like undisguised like obsession, love going on between Versi and Estrellas. If you were Estrellas, you might feel uncomfortable with how loved you are. It is that obvious, like, and yeah. She also kind of appraises him, like kind of checking with her eyes every inch of him to kind of take in his measure and see what has changed, what he is wearing. Yeah, it's a little intense. It's a little intense.
He'll completely like ignore any tension from that and purposely stride forward and firmly pull her into an embrace.
Oh, okay. She's down for it. She goes in for the dip. The whole deal. Well, I mean, she lets you dip her. She's a very traditional lady. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, and after they a strong kiss.
Make everybody feel awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. He's just going to whisper in her ear, you gave me my life back.
And she smiles at you and says, and now it is time for you to truly begin your great adventure. You came to me to tell me that you have completed your 3 trials, and I am overjoyed. You truly are the ones I witnessed in my vision. So, it is now time for me to tell you the next step. You drank from the horn, and you witnessed that haunted vessel and that mysterious artifact. You must track them down and claim them as your own. With them in your possession, the seas will open up before you. The stars will guide you where you need to go. And you can truly begin to take the fight. And she kind of glances back at the statue of Poseidon, to the Titan's doorstep. Know this, your destinies are intertwined, the threads of fate woven together into a grand tapestry. But those threads lead now to the great sea. It is there your stories continue. And it is there, she looks at Anastasia, that you can hope to find the answers that you seek.
I'm gonna shift a little bit uncomfortably and say, but the ship, it came from such a bad place. Is it? I mean, should we take it?
And she kind of looks at you, and she always has this look on her face like, I shouldn't have eaten all those edibles for breakfast. kind of deal. Yeah. And she kind of like tilts her head and looks at you, and she says, "You of all people should know that intent outweighs all things. You bear a curse that many would end their lives over, but you wear those snakes like a regal crown. True, the ship was crafted with the literal blood of Thylea's people. And its fate now is even worse than you could possibly imagine. But one of the great things that you will bring to this land, that you're already bringing, is redemption. The ship cries out for a second chance. She is a prisoner. You must go and liberate her. Give her a purpose. You must take her from the cold, hateful embrace of her current master.
And who is that master?
She turns to you and says, you have begun to learn of his anger, his bloodlust, his false face. Soon, you will look upon that face, and many of you might die for your efforts. Such is his power and his hatred. And she turns to you quickly, Estoria, and says, but not you, my sweet, for if you fall, I will be there to pick you up. And she just starts kissing all over you. Kyra kind of clears her throat. Keep it on point, on task. Okay, on
Yeah,
mission.
like mid-conversation like that, Estrella would probably like...
Yeah, and she kind of pulls away and says, sorry. I know that many things pull you towards the south. That is how the loom of fate has woven your destinies. Answers wait for you, as well as problems, in the city of Mytros. That is where you next should go.
What about the instrument that will allow
Oh
us...
yeah, she makes a pursed lips, like duck face, and like turns her that look towards Kyra, and Kyra's like looking over at like some mosaic on the wall, like, you know, like, oh, is this new? Is this, wow? I never get over how handsome your dad is. Wow. My dad's like a dwarf, you know? Your dad's like a Olympian or something. Look at this. Oh my god. Is that a 12-pack? And Versi says, you are the chosen of destiny. You are not bounty hunters, nor are you thugs for hire by irresponsible godlings.
Really quick, I chose a poor choice of words there. I meant the artifact or whatever that's supposed to guide us through the sea. I didn't mean her instrument. I'm sorry.
Well, you know, Versy's kind of an oracle, so she kind of picked up on what you're saying and immediately got like the whole picture. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You see this gold coin on her forehead?
Yeah.
Underneath that is the third eye, just like her father.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah. Well, she thinks it's gross too, hence the reason she wears that diadem, right? Is that what it's called? I don't know, like
I'm sorry. Big nose snake lady, you're gonna start saying my girlfriend's gross because she got one extra eye.
Yeah, Kyra's like, yeah. We're not talking about instruments. I have an instrument, and she waves the lute. See, I didn't lose it. It's right here. Jeez, pay attention. Thought you knew everything. Gosh. Jeez. Oh, look at this little gargoyle. That's cute. And Versy kind of looks like really pissed off, and she says, "Your next step is to travel to Mytros. There, the path will open up before you. Many paths, in fact. I wish I could tell you more, but some things are best left to discovery. Any information I gave you could cause you to turn away from opportunities that come your way, or view things in a manner that you are not intended to. I hope this does not sound presumptuous or foolish. It is simply the way of divination. And Hypatia, you do remember attending a couple lectures about divination magic and the dangers of telling people what's going to happen, because it could inevitably lead to like all sorts of timeline schisms and all sorts of weird stuff like that, where people aggressively go against their destiny only to fulfill their destiny. It's very Greek, like the whole divination magic thing.
Yeah, I'm Minerva McGonagall to her Professor Trelawney here.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Like, if I could divine it, I should just divine it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, yeah. But you've heard people, particularly people dedicated to divination, are hardcore into this line of thinking. That, like, you know, you have to be so careful about how you hand out, you know, the truth and the future and all that kind of stuff.
Evil.
So does anybody have any anything that they need to? I mean,
I'd like to spend the night.
Oh. I mean, they have guest quarters you guys are aware of, and they have beautiful acolytes and an old man acolyte who can tend to your every needs if that's required. Kyra does tell you guys, like, hey, I was kind of using this mural as like a diversion, but you guys should probably check this out so you at least know your enemy.
Yeah, I'll look at it.
Do you go and gaze upon Sidon, Lord of Storms?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Ooh.
We better go look at Psydoofus.
I mean, you can call him Slydoofus all you want, but man, that's daddy material, right? That's what the halflings say, daddy, right? It's a man. That is a lot.
Yeah, if everyone's like hell-bent on staying the night, like Phil would prefer not to stay in a temple of Sidon, so he's gonna sleep outside in a purple tent.
Oh. Yeah, you know what? That sounds fun. Let's camp outside, nephew.
I'd probably go with them.
Oh man. All right. Versy distracted as she is by the love of her immortality, Estrellas does kind of like watch you guys like leave to go outside, and you could tell that she's definitely miffed about it. If this was a Sims game, there'd be red negative marks appearing above her head when you guys refuse her hospitality.
What? She didn't know that was going to happen?
Ooh.
Well, you've stayed before. It just feels like the longer you're opposed to Sidon, the less you like him.
Yeah.
You may have something there.
I like want to like start cutting down all these statues, like, but I'm not ready yet.
All
So
right.
I'm afraid of what will happen to me.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys head on outside. Estrellas, you spend the night. I guess Reset, do you take advantage of their hospitality, or do you also camp outside?
No, I go with them.
Oh wow. Okay. Anastasia?
Yeah, I go with them.
Okay. Talus, do you take advantage of their hospitality, or do you go outside as well?
I'll just stay and make sure nothing to
What, nothing happens to
nobody gets into
Estrellas?
trouble. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We've had so much weird shit happen. It's better to have one person still in here just in case.
Okay.
Not like I
yeah.
sleep anyway, so.
I mean, she is the daughter of your sworn immortal enemy. So, I mean, there is that awkwardness, you know.
Just think about what I'm doing with her tonight is a way of just really sticking it to Sidon.
I mean, in her defense, she was tortured for like many days by one of his sea hags. So, like, you know, she's not on very good terms with him. All right. That being said, in the morning, you guys could head out. Your NPC allies return from the Oldwood successful.
All right.
Fine. I will take you guys back to the map. All right. So, I guess the big question here is, where to next? If you guys are over here at the Temple of the Oracle, Mytros is right over here. A popular way to get there is you take a riverboat all the way down, and then sail along the coast, or you hike west. Here, I'll show you the path. Oh no, that's not a draw tool. There we go. You go west and then down, following the river all the way to Mytros. There we go. Man, I probably should use a different color, but still.
With a couple of pit stops, maybe, by those little X's.
Yeah, I feel like we should help the people. You know.
All right. So you're gonna take the long way around, go back past the Mithril mines. Grandpa will install the colding feature to the dimensional satchel, and then you'll continue your way through. Are you skirting the mountains and following the river as per the popular travel routes, or are you boldly cutting across the mountain range?
I don't. Are the tops of the mountains really cold? Are they snow capped?
Yeah, you were just there. That's where the Temple of Helios was, which is now a Temple of Mytros.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I have this awesome blanket. It keeps me really, really warm.
Oh man,
for 1 hour.
No, actually, it keeps me really warm all the time. That's
That's right. That's nice.
Yeah, at least 3 of you should be completely immune to cold. Not immune to cold damage, but immune to the effects of prolonged cold. So.
But that still leaves 3 of us that aren't.
I will actually would like to, if no one else wants the other collar, I'll take it and just unattune from the short bow. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Who
Right.
who has the other one?
Tells.
Talus.
Yep, that's fine.
All right. Now, I love rolling random encounters. I really do. But now that we're back to 3-hour sessions, to travel from the Temple of the Oracle to the location marked on your map here would be 8 days of travel. I'm okay with it just being a travel montage sequence if you guys are okay with it being a travel montage sequence. Halfway through the trip, of course, you swing by Mithril Mines, have the colding installed, and then kind of continue on your merry way.
Yeah, and I'll pick up all my stuff too.
Okay.
I think travel montage is awesome.
Okay.
I have one important question.
Sure.
Which one of us suffers from dysentery on the way?
Oh, geez. That's actually going to be determined by this storytelling competition. That's right. You guys never should have let me play Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm obsessed with mini games now. Because it just made my playthrough so much better. God, I was like, man, this great combat system's amazing. I wish I could stop and do pull-ups. Boy, yeah, that's fun. Whoa, yeah, pull-ups. That's what I want to do. Even Tifa doing pull-ups with them big old tatas did not make it worth it. It did not make it worth it. Every time there was a mini game, I cried a little. My daughter had to pat me on the back and be like, "You could do this, Dad. You could do this.
Square
You
Enix,
could
I hope you are
push
listening.
you could push 2 buttons at the same time. You could do this, Dad." Yeah, Dad couldn't do it. Took like 40 minutes. It was awful. All right. Anyways, so what we're gonna do is each of you is gonna tell me very quickly, the coolest or funniest story about your 9-day, because we have to stop and get the colding installed. 9-day road trip to the autumn wind. So, who would like to go first? It's always tricky. Anyone? Any volunteers to go first to tell us all the coolest or funniest or saddest, just whatever, right? Tell us a story about what happened while you traveled for 9 days.
I mean, Estrellas had a great time because he, at every opportunity that he was allowed to, he ended up walking Philippithres.
Okay.
So for him, it was just a long pupper walk.
Okay. So just 9 days worth of cute 3-headed puppy and trapped in time old dude going on a walk. All right, I got it. I can
Like,
see
you know-
that. Yeah, like a Captain America outtake. You know what I'm saying?
There
Like a
you go.
special edition. They're like, yeah, okay.
I grabbed that like really long stick that like all 3 of them can get a hold of, and then they all start trying to wrestle it out of each other's mouths, but it's just
Okay.
one big stick.
Sure. Okay. Anyone else got a cool story that transpired on the road? You have full narrative freedom here, minus giving yourself cool equipment and items, of course. But you know, you can't be like, the coolest part is when we found that Vorpal sword and I attuned to it, and it was like, I don't need an attunement slot. It's free, baby. Yeah, that story won't fly. But anything, you know, within reason would be a cool story.
Oh, like when we all got those Fury tattoos as a
You were
group?
doing. Oh man. Well, see, that would be a good story.
Yeah.
But you already walked a dog for 9 days. So
Ah,
you're out, yeah. So you're out of the running.
Oh no.
Well, I for an hour each evening before going to bed, I'd invite everyone into my blanket fort, where I tried to teach them all this cool game that we used to play at the academy called Houses and Humans.
Oh, hype.
Yeah.
Hype. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm living
Yeah.
for that.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
That's cool enough that a certain someone whose name I won't mention does overcome her older sister inferiority issues and does come into play said game. So, yeah. Out of curiosity, are you the game master for Houses and Humans?
Obviously.
Obviously. Okay.
Yeah,
Out of curiosity, could you rapid fire tell me the highlights of who played what kind of character in Houses and Humans? Like bonus round.
Yeah. Definitely, I don't know. I feel like Estrella is probably too good for us.
What? I was gonna be the baker.
Okay, fine. You can be the baker. I misread it. Okay. But yeah, it's definitely I'm like a housewife.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
the
you have a
mom
you have
of
a
the
DM
family.
NPC? You have a DM NPC?
Yeah, I'm like the mom of the family.
Okay.
And,
You see Kyra kind of give you a look like DM NPCs. What an amateur.
you guys need help, okay? You're super beginners. You don't
She-
understand how this works.
She shakes her head. She's like, "What module are you running? What kind of hack writers like force an NPC, a DM NPC on the party to keep them on a linear track, so they could hide all the railroading that's going on? That's ridiculous." Don't get me wrong, the way you're playing this housewife, she is really funny and cute, and I definitely want her around, but I can't help but feel like it's a pretty weak writer's, crutch. That's all I'm saying. Just saying, if it was happening in a real story, I would have trouble being on board for it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, now that Kyra's involved, I would make sure to include lots of little like the breakfast burritos, and things, and I'll it's a special thing that we only have in Houses and Humans.
She does approach you after the first session and ask if you accept UA material, because Karen, the new subclass that came out for Housewife, is like really strong, but it's strong in a good way, right? Like, it's not OP. It's like it's examining strength from a different perspective, and I promise not to abuse any of the features, but I just feel like that's kind of like more what my character would be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like in my game you need to stick with Becky. I'm sorry.
Okay. Respectful of the power structure of Houses and Humans, she accepts, but you could tell that she carries some resentment that you would not allow her to play her homebrew Karen class. So, fair enough. All right. Well, it's going to be hard to beat that one. What do you got, Talus? What was the coolest thing that happened during this road trip?
So with the headband of comprehension on, he has found himself stopping and talking to lots of plants, animals, and people, hearing their conversations that he had never heard before.
Okay, I dig it. Yeah, it is the normal trade route that is traveled between Estoria and Mytros. So you do encounter many people, and the people are all eager to hear of your adventures, including the one song that they heard that they cover the children that are with them. They cover their ears like earmuff styles. And they want to know if the robot Dwargy is a real thing. Did that really happen? And they want all the spicy details. There's people that want to know what life was like with the Amazons. There's people that want to know what it's like to not have to sleep or poop or any of that kind of stuff. It's definitely, I don't know if it's exhausting, but you're realizing that the more deeds that you guys accomplish, and the more the bard spreads tales of your heroics, people do know who you are when you go places, and to a certain extent, those of you who do not like the attention, it is maybe starting to get a little annoying. like you pass like a northbound caravan, and it turns into like a 2-hour thing in the middle of the road where they want to hear your stories and they want to, see you and touch you and hear you, hear what you have to say and what your opinions are, and if you're going to partake in the great games when they come around in Mytros, and the questions never stop. So.
Well, the problem being is it's not just the normal folk. It's, he's hearing their horses talk and the dogs and the squirrels and passing
Is that what the
trees.
helmet does?
Is that
Understand
arrangement?
any language.
I mean,
Well, if they have a language, beast and plants, unless they are listed as like speaking Sylvan or something similar, they're considered to be, I guess, empathic with each other. But I don't know if you have speak with animals as a ranger thing, because then you could be throwing that in there as well. But
I thought it was just the headband of.
No!
It's
all it's made by nerds, so it's all like like intelligent creature languages basically. But
okay.
Yeah, but still, you are able to converse with all manner of travelers that you meet on the road, and what you do here is that things are a little shook up down in Mytros. Basically the people are being encouraged to stop worshiping at temples and shrines of the Five, and very, very short of full-on militant like police state, they are being strongly encouraged to just switch over to worshiping the Titans. So that is definitely some bad news that you hear along the road as you're talking to people.
Are we able to like inquire and find out like what's
apparently
at the root of it?
Apparently Sidon is heavily endorsed by King Acastus himself.
But he's married to one of the 5 gods.
Yeah, but Acastus Archleander has been the king of Mytros for 2 decades. He is married to the goddess Valis of wisdom and beauty, and he thinks the 5 need to step down, and that all of everybody's problems could be resolved by just giving the Titans what they want, which is their due respect.
Are you sure our last lemur isn't regicide?
I'm just saying that is kind of the more quiet and sad rumors that you hear from people coming from Mytros.
That's the bonus side quest.
Now you also hear that some people have gone missing on this trade route in the last few weeks. People that left Mytros to go to Estoria and never made it, and people who left Estoria going to Mytros who never made it. They just disappeared.
I think we know the cause of that.
All right. So, Philibocles, what's the coolest or most interesting thing that occurred while you were traveling during these 9 days of travel?
Yeah, Phil's just getting kind of bored. He's kind of like trying to rush everyone along. And like he's just like randomly smashing rocks, like making sure he still got it. Maybe challenge Reset to some kind of race.
Okay.
That's the time.
All right. Sounds good.
Does Reset ever let you win?
Oh.
Does
Nope.
Reset ever beat you?
All right. On that note, Reset. Anything cool or interesting?
Yeah. She remembers a variety of things, just small things that happened on the trail. She fondly remembers the time when, as they were walking, Astraeus walked into like a tree because he was so baffled that Talus stopped to speak with another shrub, that he just stopped paying attention and walked straight into a tree. She really liked that. She really enjoyed watching Philippocles punch a rock and find out that it was more than just a rock. It was some kind of metal. He still dented it, but probably hurt him a bit more than he expected. But her fondest memory is the time when Anastasia, as she was flying along, flew into a tree, and she had to go up there and help her. And she kind of remembered that as when they first met.
I call back, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
and
At
then
least there
she
weren't
just spent
any
a lot of time.
insect people trying to kill us.
Not this time.
No.
All right, that kind of travels well into Anastasia. What is the coolest or most interesting thing that you can remember from your 9 days of travel?
It was a real bummer when I flew into that tree.
Trees are very aggressive along this part of the road,
Yeah.
so.
I had a blast playing Houses and Humans
Okay.
as a male person. I think at one point. What?
Nothing. It's just I've had players that are like, "This is my character." It's like, "This is you," and they're like, "Yeah." It's like, okay, cool. It could be anything you want. I know. Okay. just checking.
Well, those are the stats I rolled, and that was the. Come on. Best for male person. I probably had a lot of fun talking to animals along the way, getting to know what's going on. I can do that.
Okay.
At one point, I probably would have asked Kyra if I can try out her lute, and then if Kyra wanted to play a funny prank, and if it's actually one of those instruments, it would hurt me.
Oh no. She totally lets you play it. She tries to pull like the smooth like high school I'm in a band thing and kind of like stand behind you and be like, no, you place your fingers like this, kind of thing.
Sure.
Well, yeah. I don't know if she's successful or not, but that's what she tries to do. She definitely tries to roll to seduce. Not seal the deal seduce, but definitely tries to raise her Anastasia faction. But she tries to show you how to use it. You get the feeling that this lute does essentially impart additional magical abilities to its owner.
Well, yeah, but if it was an instrument of the bards, it would hurt me if I'm not a bard. That's why I thought it'd be fun.
Oh, yeah. It is actually not technically an instrument of the bard.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the Thylean dumbed-down equivalent. Because apparently, of all the OP shit in this campaign, they felt that a real instrument of the bard was too strong. And I agree with them, having owned one myself. Yeah, so they're cool, though. But I don't even know if they take a attunement slot, actually. They're kind of nuts like that.
They're awesome.
But yeah.
Shit.
Okay.
Maybe
Cool.
I run into that giraffe. Oh, the secret.
Oh, the giraffe that you
Yeah,
saved?
Yeah, because this is around these parts, I think, around these plains.
I would say that you would on your, you probably get restless as a flyer, kind of fly off on your own occasionally. You do find some giraffe, and they recognize you from the story that was told by their ally who was spared. And they spend a good hour or two telling you all about giraffe society and what it's like being a giraffe and how cool it is to have a long neck. It's about as interesting as a conversation with a small herd of giraffe would be, I guess. So the little giraffe keeps trying to get your attention to show you how long its tongue is. Its tongue is disgustingly long. It's also like a bright purple color. This is truly a horrific creature, the giraffe. So, yeah. All right, fair enough. In that case, you arrive, I think, where you are supposed to be. Let me go and check the map real quick. as you are approaching, you reach an area where the river forks, and this is what Zephyros told you. It's where the river forks. In the hills nearby, there is an old tower, and in that tower, you can find the autumn wind. So, as you're preparing to head over there, Kyra kind of gets you guys into a huddle. She says, "All right, so this is how it's going to go down. If you guys thought Zephyros was a charmer, this is so much worse. This is so much worse. So, yeah, whatever precautions you could make to, like, create an iron fortress around your minds, I need you guys to do that, okay? I know that as mortals and half mortals, it's hard for you guys to be as resistant to the charms of these otherworldly beings. Like, for example, when we were dealing with Zephyros, I was like so cool and calm and collected. I had full capacity over my faculties and stuff, right? Meanwhile, some of you, right, almost cost us everything, okay? So it's just really important that if she, starts singing or sweet talking you or whatever, you just don't fall for it. That's my advice. You have to make a saving throw, just pass it.
Earplugs.
Could I plug my ears? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean that would work too, but then none of us could talk to each other. So you'd have to have a really strong plan going in, right? Because I mean, there's honestly a lot of interplay in the very short 6-second combat rounds that we engage in combat, and I just feel like it's a lot of our strategies are reliant upon being able to communicate with each other. And if you guys can't hear anything, I also can't sing Lucky Song to you. Not that you guys need Lucky Song. She's like way too hasty to say. Like, you guys do great on your own, all the time. I don't think Lucky Song has helped at all, ever. But I'm just saying that you won't be able to benefit from it if you can't hear. That's all I'm saying.
All right, I'm gonna plug my ears because I'm gonna be honest. I'm not very confident in my ability. Just to resist these kind of things.
Well, you like pretty people too, and she is drop dead gorgeous.
Oh goodness! All right, so I'm gonna plug my ears, but just give me hand signs. Just one finger, murder everybody. 2 fingers, wait for finger number 1.
How malicious is this friend of yours, Kyra?
Okay, so Yuria, right? She's what the halflings would call a bad bitch. Do you need me to explain that further, or do you get the gist of it?
Get the gist of it, I think.
What does she look like?
Ooh, she has like really beautiful, like granite-colored skin. And her eyes, they look like 2 like glowing carnelians.
Oh, this is the Oread, or what was it?
Yeah, the Yuria. Yeah.
Oread. Oh.
I may have some ideas for.
The Oread. Right.
And there's another satyr, and there's a siren.
Right. This is the Oread, the earth nymph. Like, she's so beautiful that some people go blind when they see her.
This is the one who has a harem army.
Yes. Yep. And more than likely, the people that went missing on the road, she stole them all.
Yeah, I figured that. So, like, harem army, like, is this, like, non-lethal, or, like, are they gonna protect her to the death?
Here's the thing. They're probably super dominated by her beauty and the magic of the instrument. So, you're gonna want to go easy on these people, right? Because we don't want a repeat of Esther. Okay, we don't need people being like, remember that time the Chosen of the Oracle murdered like dozens of people just to get back Kyra, the god of music's instrument that she really didn't need. Yeah, that would be bad. So definitely go easy on these folks.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions I could answer before I guess we don't talk to each other anymore?
Can we sneak in? Is there a way to sneak in? Can we
Like-
avoid the helpless people?
Oh, like sneak into into the tower? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess the same way you sneak into any tower. That's not
Well,
helpful, is it?
No.
Could just fly to the top of the tower.
Yeah, you could go in through the roof.
If you called her out for a one-to-one meeting,
Would
would she do so?
Would she do so? Maybe.
I mean, if I were her, I probably wouldn't.
Like, she thinks I'm dead, so... Yeah. I guess if she saw me, she'd know I wasn't dead, though. Oh, I see.
Would she greet you as a friend? Would she be happy that you're not dead?
I would say that she would not greet me as a friend.
So she's met you.
Well, I mean, we were close once, but now we're not.
Close, like with Zephyrus close? Or
Oh, way closer than like with Zephyros. Like, way closer. But I don't feel like that's really relevant to what's happening here. Like, these people stole from me, and we're just gonna get back to stuff. Like, motive isn't important. The crime is what matters.
Rampage.
Right.
Right. Okay,
Non-lethal rampage.
Non-lethal rampage. Knock these folks out.
I'm not a fan. Alright.
You're not a fan of not knocking people out, or?
I don't know this. Well, I'll do it for you.
Okay.
These are citizens that we are saving, Philippicles.
I know. That's why I'm upset. I mean, I'm happy that we're gonna save them, but I feel like I was promised some things. I'm
Well,
not being
I mean,
delivered. It's all right. You don't have to. We can just go up there. We can get your thing. Remember, 1 means non-lethally not murder everybody. 2 means go to 1.
I mean, if you want to rampage on her, you can rampage on her. I mean, I don't care, right? Like, you may have thought that I was a little soft-hearted when we were dealing with Zephyros, but it's not going to be like that this time. She thinks she's a bad bitch. She don't even know bad bitch. This is the bad bitch right here. This is the order of bad bitches in this group right here, okay? Most bad bitch, Scylla. Second most bad bitch, probably Hypatia. Third most bad bitch, Astraeus. Fourth most bad bitch, Kyra.
I'm gonna shake
Okay.
my head at Astraeus, and then I'm gonna shove pieces of
All
rope
right, fine.
into my ear.
Okay, fourth most bad bitch, probably Lorius. Fifth most bad bitch, Kyra.
Astraeus does one of these. I posted it in art.
All right. Gosh. Okay, let's do this thing. So there is like this, I don't know, like shored up area that we have to climb. That's gonna be kind of awkward, but yeah, we'll show up at the base of that. Okay, we got this.
Could Phil like fly two of us up?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm just gonna put you guys there to start. So, all right, and you guys, once you see yourselves, you could drag out whatever Pokemans you happen to have brought on this particular mission.
I forgot to ask. Does Kyra know if she is in fact uses bardic magic, or is she like sorcerer?
Oh, like she's like a super powerful fey creature.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she's about as much a bard as I'm a bard.
I don't know how to interpret that comment.
The important thing is
She's not a bard.
Just remember that she could melt your eyeballs. She can melt your eyeballs with how hot she is. She could actually, yeah. So
No,
yeah.
No, it is 5 minutes till 12.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna just drop you guys off so you can see the map at least. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So
I just know we have a tendency to get real excited and get into it.
Oh, I know. I wasn't gonna let you guys go any longer. I've been up since super early today. All right. So yeah. First of all, what a gorgeous fucking map. Yeah. Secondly, yeah, you guys would be approaching from down here. You are shielded, you think, from anybody who's up in this tower. Now the tower is. Let's see, how many floors is this tower? 4 stories? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 3 stories plus the roof. So it's 3 stories plus the roof. All right. Now you do see hanging out on the roof and on the front steps are just a bunch of naked dudes. Like Tom Hardy, right? There's just a bunch of naked dudes just like hanging out. And literally hanging out. Just wangs just flopping in the breeze. Yeah, they're just kind of like looking around lazily, like enjoying the breeze on their nakedness. Yeah. Other than that, you don't really see anything of interest. Just this this tower and 5 naked dudes. You do see that the entrance to the tower is at the top of this windy staircase. So this has definitely got an incline going on here. And then there is sort of a point of entry like right there.
Do the
Right.
naked dudes have any weapons on them?
Now the tower itself does have windows. Do the dudes all have spears? They all have spears. They're not wearing any armor. They don't have shields, but they are carrying spears because it's it's pseudo Greece, and what man would go around without a spear even if he was naked?
Okay.
All right. So yeah, I guess that's where we'll leave off with you guys sort of like peeking over there, getting your Paratos intel from his aerial flyby kind of thing. Paratos, why don't you give me, real quick, a perception check? Oh, wow. Paratos,
Skilled.
you do notice that there is, like in the hilltop, there does seem to be a concealed entrance. Which would lead into, I guess, a basement area. And there is an entrance on the roof as well. And each floor has several windows. So there's plenty of points of access. But there's definitely a concealed entrance on the back side of the tower. All right. Do you guys want me to leave you on this map, or do you want me to take you back to the dashboard?
I think we can stay here.
Yeah, this is fine.
Okay. All right. In that case, we'll leave it here. Next week, we will pick up with the non-lethal rampage of stopping the Autumn Wind and her dominated harem of naked spear wielders.
Nice.
All right. Announcements. I'll make them super quick because it's midnight and it's a work night and all that jazz. Let's see. Nothing special going on this week that I know of. There's not even a West Marches game on Wednesday, I don't think. Saturday there is a West Marches game. Saturday evening Eastern time there is a live stream discussion of our book club book, which is kind of cool. Then we're back here next Monday. Next Wednesday is Hero Quest 8, the Fire Mage, and I'm particularly proud of this one. This one's pretty cool. It's got some pretty cool shit going on with it. Then Saturday is more Schult West Marches. The following week, there is a one-shot set in the Schult West Marches. It is Rise of the Reptites. There is still room if you're interested in playing. Let me know. That one is going to be live stream and a fundraiser for Extra Life. And then, yeah, jumping ahead to July, there'll be part 2 of Princess Heist. So, does anybody have any announcements before we adjourn that you want to throw out there?
Just quick question: will we be able to use current Shulton characters in the one-shots as we apply?
With the Schult one-shot, you can use your character from the Schult West Marches game, and if they survive the one-shot, you can return to Schult West Marches game with experience points and loots. That being said, you're not going to get the crazy loots that you would get from a 24-hour marathon. It's just going to be like, you know, the normal one-shot adventure kind of deal. But, you know, it's in the same universe as the Schult game.
That's okay. I think you're still caught in the gray render fiasco.
I may ask Will if there could be a timey-wimey, day pass kind of thing to participate in the adventure if characters are locked up in something else. So, all right. Any other questions? Any other things you want to put forward? Anybody plan to run any games this summer? We already made it to summer. It's kind of crazy.
I'm mulling one.
Okay.
Or two.
All right.
But I'm not
thinking
past mulling yet.
End of summer, I might run another.
Cool. All right. In that case, I will see you guys around the Discord. If you need anything, easiest way this week to get a hold of me is to tag me in the comment, because there's a lot of stuff going on, I might not see it. So, other than that, hope everybody stays safe, has a good week, and we'll pick this up next week.
All right.
Night,
Good night.
everybody.
All right.
Have a good one.
Night,
Great
everyone.
games.
Bye-bye.